Welcome to San Antonio Monthly Magazine TV. Today we have the honor to get to know AndyVilla. Who is AndyVilla?
Well, me. I'm AndyVilla, and I am the CEO and founder of Meta Consultants. I started my career about 30 years ago in management and leadership in different nonprofits, and in 2003, I decided to, open up my own consulting company, and we've been doing that since then.
Meta Consultings has been making some noise right here in San Antonio because you guys do fabulous things. Besides that, you are very well engaged with the entire community. I understand, Mr. Villa, that you are a big donor. I also understand that you are at heart with everyone that surrounds you.
Yes, we do like to give back to the community, and this year alone, we have probably donated close to $80,000 to different charities. We work closely with Fuerza Unida. We've donated to the zoo. We've donated to Eva's Heroes, and we've also donated to the San Antonio Opera.
Yes.
So we do, make sure that, I guess that in my heart and in my brain, I feel like if the businesses that we work with entrust us with the services that we provide, that it gives us a responsibility to give back to the community. So we make sure that we do that every year. And Thanksgiving, we're going to feed about 200 families with turkey and the sides, the dressing, and then on Christmas, we're giving out gifts to 300 kids.
Mr. Villa is a big donor, is a big giver, but you know what? You do have a wonderful staff that supports you every walk of the success.
Right.
You are very successful at everything you do, and I understand that we have Gina right here. How are you today, Gina?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
You are so beautiful, and thank you so much for just taking the time to come here. And I did ask Mr. Villa, I just want you to bring someone because I want this to be a little get to know Mr. Villa, but I want to hear it from your staff. I want to hear it from somebody else, because everyone can sit here and tell us beautiful, wonderful stories, but it is always better when you have someone that is actually on a daily operating hand on hand with everything that you do. Okay, Gina, I want you to tell me 3 things that you absolutely love about your job.
Absolutely. So I have been very fortunate to be with Meta for the last 4 years, and it's given me an opportunity to grow and show my skills in statistics and program evaluation. So 3 things that I really love are the opportunity to grow and learn with this company, because this was my first job out of my master's degree, and so to have the opportunity to continue working on those skills has just been very important to me.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful. What I most love about Mr. Villa is that you are the gentleman that opens the doors to everyone, and you love giving everyone that opportunity. That's what I really, really admire about how you handle yourself, how you are. And what I most love about you, Andy, is the fact that you don't care who they are.
Right.
You just open your heart to everyone. So I want you to tell me, why is it that your business is different from any other business out there?
Well, Meta Consultants, actually Meta is an abbreviation. It stands for Monitoring, Evaluation, Training, and Assessment. We call it Meta for short because that's a pretty long name. We specialize in program evaluation. We specialize in data management, data analysis. We also do organizational assessments, grant writing, team building activities. And we do that with organizations, in several states, right? So I think that what sets us apart, I feel, is one, I have a full-time dedicated staff to provide services to our clients. Our clients are, small to large, community-based organizations. It can be clinics, treatment centers. We also have several prevention programs, schools that we work with. But we have a full-time dedicated team, to provide those services all the time, 40 hours a week, 7 days a week. We're there if they need anything. which sets us apart from our competitors, because the majority of our competitors are attached to universities. So, they have other full-time jobs, and this is what we do all the time. I think the second thing that sets us apart is that a lot of us have been there and done that, right? So we can really connect with our clients. If I have a treatment center, in Laredo, or a, psychiatric center in Jacksonville, Florida, I can connect with them because I've been, I started from the bottom and worked myself up, so I understand so I think that gives us a competitive edge. And, I don't want to brag, but I do feel like I have the best staff. And we can go toe to toe with anyone in the country, and I think that we would be successful because that's how confident I am, that my employees know what they're doing and they do a really good job.
Well, if you have the rest of your staff is like Gina, I can see why you're successful. Gina walked in here and she was just a little bundle of joy. She was excited from the moment that she knew she was going to be behind cameras, in front of the cameras. She was ready. She was born ready. She was ready to come here and be your voice. So yeah, you do have great staff, and congratulations, Gina, because this is a great opportunity, and it takes people like AndyVilla, people that believes in giving opportunities, and that's
right.
what I most like about you. And there's other companies out there. Yeah, there's thousands of companies across the states. And that's what we like. It's like going to a restaurant and opening up a menu. We like different choices,
right?
But people are always going to go where they feel at home,
right.
And that's one thing that Meta has done.
I feel, I totally agree with you. Some of the things that we've done to retain staff, because everyone has been having issues hiring staff, recruiting staff, retaining them. One of the things that we've done is once the pandemic hit, of course we closed down, everybody started working from home, and then we did everything virtually, right? We closed down on March 18th, and within 2 to 3 weeks we had everything running virtually, right? And then we trained our clients how to provide services, from counseling to prevention to drug treatment to primary care via telehealth. So if you fast forward, it works so well that part of the incentives of working for Meta is that you get to work from home 100% of the time, and you work 4 days a week. My staff works 4 days a week, and they get one a day off, so they work 32 hours, but I pay them for 40. So, and I think that we have a great staff, and they love it. I think they show that appreciation by doing hard work, and we've had no complaints, and we've had 0 staff turnover. Knock on wood.
That is so wonderful. Okay, AndyVilla, I want you to know that you and I have many things in common. And one of the things that we have in common is treating the employees wonderful. I launched the first franchise of Las Palapas right here in the heart of San Antonio, Texas. And I want you to know that after 20 years, I could walk into that restaurant and the same staff that helped me launch the first franchise of Las Palapas, it's still there today.
Oh, wow.
It's still there today because when I sold it a few years ago, I made sure that staff was going to be well taken care of. I put it on the contract to make sure that the staff was going to always be taken care of, and that's something that you and I have in common. Well, it is about the staff.
It is, and I think that there are limitations that a small business can do, but you can do things that won't cost you a lot of money. Like working from home, having an extra day off a week so they can have a work and family balance, right? And and even sometimes when we're super busy, we call them on the phone or we text them, and they'll respond quickly, and they don't mind that, right? Because there's an incentive that we try to provide them, not only so they can have a work-life balance, but also so they can be proud of working for Meta, right? And then that dedication shows through their commitment to what we do and our mission and our cause.
Yes, and you have taken care of your employees, and your employees are there for you, taking care of you. So they're not going to let you down.
No, but I do have to say that, so I have managers. Gina's one of the managers. She runs the day-to-day operations of Meta. And then above her, we have Jimena. She's our CEO. We're a team of 9 people. 10 if you count me. So she directly supervises the staff too, and and then of course Jimena. So I have really good leadership, under me that really, take the task of making sure that everything is running, because we get tons of phone calls and emails. I mean, we have 27 contracts over 3 states, and so we tend to get really busy.
That's wonderful. Well, you have definitely made wonderful leaders, Mr. Villa. When you make leaders, you train leaders, you will be successful. No matter what anybody says and how they say it. You're going to be successful because it is hard, to find good people.
Right.
Unconditional. The key of successful staff is if they're unconditional to you, you're going to be unconditional to them.
Right. Right.
What do you think, Gina?
Absolutely. Not only do I love the work that I do, and I'm very proud of the work that I do, but it makes it very easy to stay with a company like Meta when you see how much that care and that compassion is both ways.
That's right. Okay, so what is it that you most enjoy about your job, Gina?
She's a data person.
I'm a numbers person. I truly couldn't be happier than sitting on my couch. I've got my dog next to me, and I'm just plugging away in spreadsheets. It brings me joy, and most people, they go cross-eyed from all the numbers, but I love it. I truly do enjoy doing it. And then knowing that those numbers are directly impacting communities. So the work that I do is the important behind the scenes, but then the programs that we work for are out there providing the necessary treatment and education and awareness to everyday people.
So the data that we collect, it's important to talk about because, if you hire us, what we do is we collect data over 6 months or a year, period of time. And then when we start doing the analysis and we start breaking down the numbers, it tells our clients, is your services, impacting the clients or the consumers that you're serving? Are you making a difference? Are you making community changes? So we're able to tell our clients the kind of impact that their programs and services are having, or if they're not, right? So sometimes, the data shows that, their impact isn't as positive as it should be. So we sit around with them, we do an organizational assessment and we determine, okay, what is it, a training issue, a staffing issue, a management issue? What is it that's impacting the services that you're providing to your clients, right? So the data is important, but we deal a lot with numbers and writing.
The data is important. What I most liked about Andy is that when Andy and I sit down and we visited and we evaluated his consulting companies, you do have other companies, which we'll talk about that in a minute,
yes.
Because I know that you do also have other companies, which I was very impressed. And I said, this gentleman, he can see me eye to eye and we can see each other eye to eye because we know how to balance. We know how to take care of our people. We know how to credit our people. But most of all, Andy, we're street smart.
Yes, very much so.
We are street smart. Do you agree?
I agree. And I think when I was talking earlier about, starting from the ground up,
Yes.
and being able to connect with my clients, because I know the struggle of, managing people. I know the struggle of meeting payroll and payroll taxes and, and making sure that your budget, is up to par with what you're trying to do. But you're right, we're and I like that term street smart because we know, right? We've been there, we've done that, and now we're helping other people, make sure that they don't make the same mistakes and, give them the tools that they need to succeed.
Mr. Villa, I did tell you we did have a lot of things in common. But what I most enjoyed about sitting down with Mr. Villa was the fact that to him, what was important was bringing the best and the latest there is in technology to extend not only here in San Antonio locally and also in all his other practices, but to be able to extend to the world services and training through the internet, through the workshops, through mastering and making his staff where they're a part of it, but also having the staff to be trained.
Right.
Now, when someone sits down with me and sits for 3 hours, and I'm listening on your plans of not only of where you're at, but where you've been, how you started it, where you're at, and where you want to go, Mr. Andy, I got to tell you, I've got a lot of respect for you.
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for you because you see the vision and you see the light at the end of the tunnel the way I see it.
Right.
You know it's going to be tough to get there, but when you get there, you're setting a platform for a lifetime.
Right.
For legacies after legacies to come and be able to master it and just get better at it. And you're going to be able to extend your services bigger into everyone else.
Well, and that's true. We have contracts in Florida, all over Texas, and San Francisco, California, and because of the pandemic, it kind of propelled us to the front of technology, right? We had to incorporate, how are we going to do our job virtually? We can't fly, we can't travel, we can't let our clients down. So we, came together and put everything, online. We can do, audits, compliance reviews, chart reviews. We can, look at, the work that you're doing, online, and which makes it easier, right? And it's just as effective, and our clients liked it. We never gave up on our clients during the pandemic. We tried to do whatever it is that we needed to do to keep them up and running. Several, articles came out during the pandemic that anxiety and depression was, increased, significantly because people were trapped in their homes, right? They couldn't be around their families and stuff. So a lot of our clients provide mental health counseling. So we train them how to use technology to continue to provide their clients with mental health counseling, psychiatric services, case management, linking them to care, because a lot of folks were by themselves, right? So, we did, and we still do use technology in our work, and it's pretty effective.
It is pretty effective. That's where I was very impressed. Mm-hmm. I was very impressed to sit down, to listen of where you've been, where you're at, and where you want to go. I was very, very happy to know that you truly do care from the bottom of your heart. You care about the staff, you care about the patients, but you also care about everyone that surrounds you, and you put a great balance to all the need and everyone in need. What do you think, Gina?
I couldn't agree more.
You couldn't agree more? Would you change anything that I've said?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what Meta is all about.
I've done my homework. And believe me, before I put anyone behind cameras, in front of cameras, I always love to sit down and do my own due diligence. Mm-hmm. I think it's very important for me to be able to sit here and present someone and represent someone with facts right here. And Gina, it could have not been better than you coming here today with this short notice, but being here was very important, Gina. All right, so if you have one thing that you might dislike about your job, what would it be?
I will do this.
The first thing that came to mind, I say that I dislike it, but if you asked, so the thing that I dislike is that our job runs in seasons. So we have busy seasons with reports, busy seasons with grant writing. And so I say I dislike that because I'm in one of those seasons now.
Yes.
But if you fast forward to summer in one of our slower seasons where I get to catch up, I say I love that we work in seasons because it gives me time to go back and focus. Okay, what's falling through the cracks? What do I need to improve on? And so to have busy seasons and then slower seasons, I feel like it really makes our work, the quality of our work very good. Right. Because when we're busy, we know we have deadlines, we know we have things we need to do, and we get them done. And then when we're slow, we get to take a step back and say, how do we make Meta better?
That's beautiful. That's a very good answer. I like it. You were very honest about it. Okay, one last question, Mr. AndyVilla. What is the key to your success?
Honestly, it's bringing a team together, right? I think that if you bring talented people together and you give them the tools to grow, I always tell folks, you're a good manager when you can, and I was just talking about this the other day. I was like, I can take time off and I don't have to worry about Meta because I have Gina running the day-to-day stuff for Meta, right? So I think the key to success is having people in your team that can do the job without you.
That's the key.
Yeah, I think that's the key. So, and I know that sometimes executives and managers, they're a little afraid of that. They don't want to teach, or provide the opportunities for people to exceed themselves. but my staff, exceeds, my expectations all the time, and a lot of them even exceed my skills, right? And I like that. That tells me I brought a good team together, and it also tells me that Meta is going to continue, with or without Andy. And you used the term legacy earlier, and that's what I want, right? If one day, I'm not here, I know that Meta is going to continue because I have, good staff that knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I am so proud of you. Okay, Mr. Villa, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask Lorena Monroe a question. What would you like to know about Lorena Monroe?
I want to know, how did this start? This is a wonderful space here. Like, has production always been a passion of yours? Because I'm truly amazed at the setup that you have here.
Oh, well, you know what, Mr. Andy, to be honest with you, the camera has been my obsession. The lens and taking photos, that's how everything started. Everything started because at a very young age, I've always liked to be in front of the cameras. And then, when I married my first husband, Dr. Clay Suggs, I became lover of the, learning the taking the photos, and I started taking photos for a lot of the young beauty little queens, like from the Miss San Antonio, Miss Teen, all of that. And to me, that became like just discovering and unveiling the beauty of cameras, the beauty of taking photos. But most of all, Mr. Villa, was just making people feel good, making people feel comfortable. And I love taking people out of their zone. Gina, did I make you feel comfortable?
You sure did. You took me out of my zone and it felt comfortable real quick.
So that's how everything started. And of course, when I married Mr. Monroe, David Monroe, he happens to be a camera lover.
There you go, match made in heaven.
So, that's how everything started, and so he gave me a production studio. He says, here's your production studio, have fun at it.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yes,
that's
thank you.
Very, very impressed with the whole setup here. It was
Thank
really
you,
nice.
thank you. But you know what I most love, Mr. Andy, is unveiling and discovering people like you, people like Gina, people that have something out there, because I believe that there is no better way than doing it than through your voice, putting it on a video and sending it to the world through Bonita Productions.
There you go.
So we are going to be having great shows with Meta services and your other businesses.
Yes.
Which
So
I would like to talk a little bit about that. I know you have another business. I just want you to just throw a little teaser out there. Okay?
All right. So today we wanted to focus on Meta, and use, this platform to market our services, for, community-based organizations that are struggling, that need, money, that need program development, that need our evaluation services. But we're going to come back once a month. And the next time we're here, we're going to talk about comprehensive home health and comprehensive hospice care. So, I'm really excited to highlight some of the services and some of the successes that we've had with both home health and hospice. So on our next visit, we're going to tackle home health, and then the one after that, we're going to tackle hospice, and then we're going to come back to Meta because, I know that we talked a lot about Meta today, but we still have tons of stuff to share with the community, some of the great things that we're doing out there, and I want to bring a few of our Meta clients next time, that way they can share their personal, how they felt and what their experience was working with me and my team.
That's absolutely wonderful. So you will see Meta Services, and your website is metaservices.com?
Metaconsultants.net.
Metaconsultants.net.
Yes.
Okay, so all the information is right there for anyone that is looking for any of the services that Mr. Andy Villa just unveiled today, which is wonderful. There's no better way than to unveiling your own company, CEO and founder of Meta Consulting. It is absolutely a joy to be able to get to know you and unveiling right in front of the cameras.
It's pretty exciting.
It's pretty exciting. Well, thank you for all the viewers, and please don't hesitate to follow us through all the entire social media And thank you to San Antonio Monthly Magazine TV for allowing Lorena Moreau to be the voice of our community. Hasta la vista!